Imagine a dog, battered and bleeding, staggering into a police station with a missing girl strapped to his back. A German shepherd who outran hell itself to save her. This is the story of Hunter, a dog who refused to give up even when the world had. A story of courage, loyalty, and a father's redemption. Welcome to K9 Miracle Stories. Hit that subscribe button now and join us on this unforgettable journey of a hero who doesn't speak but says everything. The doors of the Oak Ridge Police Department slammed open like a thunderclap. Kicked by fate itself, a German shepherd, mud-caked and blood-soaked, collapsed on the linoleum floor, panting as if he'd outrun the devil. Strapped to his back with torn fabric was the motionless body of a little girl, Emma Mitchell, 8 years old, missing for 72 hours. Her hair was matted with dirt and blood, her face pale, her arms limp. Jesus Christ, Deputy Larson muttered, racing forward. The dog, Hunter, snarled weakly, his amber eyes blazing with defiance. Even on the brink of collapse, he guarded her. Sheriff Mason Cooper stood frozen, a chill crawling down his spine. "That's Jack Mitchell's girl," he said. "And that's Hunter." Time slowed as paramedics rushed in, cutting Emma free. Hunter's gaze never left her, not even as blood pooled around his paws, not even as his breathing grew ragged. 3 tranquilizer darts hadn't stopped him. God only knows what he'd endured to bring her home. A woman in a black suit stepped through the door, shaking rain from her FBI windbreaker. Agent Cassidy Reynolds took one look at Hunter and whispered, "He's trying to tell us something." Then the impossible happened. Hunter stood, his trembling body turned toward the door, and his eyes locked on a room a look no one could mistake. "Follow me." Hunter wasn't just a dog. Not to Emma, not to Oak Ridge, and definitely not to the Mitchells. 3 years ago, he'd been pulled from a shelter, a grizzled German shepherd with a notched ear and scars crisscrossing his flank like an old warrior. They said he was 5, but his eyes held a lifetime of pain. Jack Mitchell, a former Marine turned contractor, hadn't wanted him. After his wife Sarah's brutal murder, Jack had drowned in grief, trading war medals for whiskey. But Emma, his daughter, had other plans. At the shelter, she walked past puppies and lap dogs, knelt before the battered shepherd, and said, "This one, his eyes are sad like mine." So Hunter stayed. Emma whispered secrets to him, brushed the dust from his coat, and leaned on him when nightmares of her mother's death woke her screaming. Jack avoided them both. Hunter had been Sarah's dog, the only survivor of that horrific night. He'd tried to protect her and failed. In his drunken spiral, Jack blamed Hunter, abandoning him at the shelter. But Emma brought him back, and Hunter never left again. The morning Emma vanished started like any other Tuesday. Jack dropped her at school with a rush kiss and a promise. "See you at 3. Hunter sat in the truck's back seat, tail wagging, eyes locked on Emma as she waved goodbye. She loves that dog more than anything, her teacher, Mrs. Winters, later told police. He was her whole world. At 3:15, Jack returned to an empty schoolyard. She was picked up early, the front office said. A family emergency. Wasn't that you? The ground tilted beneath Jack. Within hours, Sheriff Cooper had search teams combing the woods. By nightfall, the FBI was involved. Hunter paced relentlessly, barking, trying to drag Jack toward the trees behind the school. "Get together!" Jack snapped, locking him in the laundry room. That night, Hunter's howls pierced the town, forcing neighbors to shut their windows. Agent Reynolds noticed Hunter's agitation. "He's picking up on something," she said. Cooper dismissed her. "We got trained K9s. We don't need a pet with PTSD." But Reynolds wasn't so sure. By midnight, with Emma still missing, Jack returned home wet, cold, and unraveling. He opened the laundry room door, expecting Hunter to bolt for food or water. Instead, the dog shot to Sarah's old study, a room Jack hadn't entered since her murder. Hunter clawed at the door, whining, "What's wrong with you?" Jack shouted, knocking over a whiskey bottle. The scent filled the room. Hunter backed away but held Jack's gaze with quiet disappointment. Then Jack's phone rang. "We found her backpack," Reynolds said. Miller's Creek. Signs of a struggle. When Jack turned, the front door was swinging open. Hunter was gone. By dawn, Hunter had covered 15 miles on torn paws, crossing creeks and thorn-covered hills. His nose led him to Devil's Backbone, a maze of old caves and forgotten mining roads whispered about in ghost stories. Deep in the wilderness, hidden beneath logs and branches, he found a bunker. Inside, Emma was alive, terrified but breathing. Hunter couldn't reach her through the heavy metal door, but he pressed his muzzle to the gap at the bottom. "Hunter," Emma whispered, her voice weak. "I knew you'd find me." She told him everything in hushed tones. The smell of cologne, the man who'd hurt her mom, the plan to move her that night. Blackwood wants her gone by midnight. A guard muttered down the hall. Hunter growled, then slipped through a ventilation shaft barely wide enough for his frame, his body scraping against rusted metal. Back at the station, Reynolds stared at a blinking dot on a map. Hunter's microchip, activated without anyone's knowledge. "He found her," she told Cooper. In the bunker, Emma's fingers reached through the door's gap, trembling, bleeding. Hunter pressed his nose to the concrete, offering what comfort he could. The air was thick with damp concrete, cigarettes, gun oil, and that chemical cologne, the same scent from the night Sarah died. Hunter hadn't forgotten. Neither had Emma. Footsteps approached. Hunter melted into the shadows as a guard entered with a tray. "Dinner time, princess," he sneered. He didn't see Hunter until it was too late. The shepherd launched from the darkness, jaws clamping onto the man's arm. The tray clattered to the floor. The guard screamed, reaching for his pistol, but Hunter was relentless, trained for moments like this. Across town, Jack stood in his kitchen, staring at the broken whiskey bottle and the empty leash in his hand. Rain pounded the windows like a war drum. He remembered Hunter's accusing eyes. Not fear, not defiance, but purpose. "Agent Reynolds," he said into the phone. "He's gone." In the bunker, chaos erupted. The guard slammed against the wall, trying to shake Hunter off. Shouts echoed down the corridor. Emma seized her chance, slipping from her cell to a storage room she'd memorized. A narrow window, 6 feet up, was her only hope. Hunter paused beneath it. "You want me to climb on you?" Emma whispered. He stood still as she scrambled onto his back, pushing herself toward the window. The latch creaked open. Cool air rushed in. She wriggled through and dropped into the grass, heart pounding. "Come on, Hunter." But the window was too small for him. He barked once, soft and urgent, then turned to face the approaching footsteps. He was buying her time. Emma ran, tears streaming down her face, until a voice stopped her. "Emma!" Out of the trees stepped Dr. Sarah Andrews, Oak Ridge's beloved veterinarian. Still in her lab coat, vet bag over her shoulder. "Hunter found me." Emma gasped. "He's still in there." Andrews knelt, digging through her bag. "Are you hurt?" Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Then Emma smelled it. Cologne. The same cologne. "You're one of them," Emma whispered, backing away. A gunshot echoed from the bunker. Hunter's shoulder burned, but he stood his ground, drawing the guards away. Outside, headlights cut through the trees. "Emma!" Jack sprinted through the mud, gun in hand, Reynolds and 2 FBI agents behind him. Hunter exploded from the tree lean, crashing into Andrews like a meteor. A syringe flew from her hand. She hit the ground hard. The Oak Ridge Sheriff's Department launched a full raid on the bunker. Agents swept the forest, uncovering a trafficking ring run by Thomas Blackwood, a philanthropist and youth center founder. Only his foot soldiers remained, bleeding, arrested, confused. Blackwood and his inner circle had vanished. At Oak Ridge Memorial Hospital, Emma was treated for minor scrapes. Hunter clung to life. The waiting room was heavy with silence. Jack sat, blood on his hands that wasn't his. Emma, wrapped in a blanket, stirred every few minutes. "Is Hunter okay?" she whispered. "He's fighting," Jack said, "like he always does." In the veterinary wing, Dr. Patel worked tirelessly. "He's not just surviving," she murmured. "He's choosing to." Hours later, Emma sat by Hunter's side, stroking his ear. "He knew," she whispered. "He always knew who hurt Mom." Jack's heart stopped. "What do you mean?" "The man who took me," Emma said. He wore the same cologne as the man who came to our house that night, and Dr. Andrews, too. Agent Reynolds entered, arm in a sling. "It's bigger than we thought," she told Jack. "Blackwood's been running this up and down the East Coast, using his youth programs to target kids." Sarah figured it out. She was building a case. Jack's world shifted. Sarah, an investigative journalist, had been working on something big. She'd never told him. That night, Reynolds showed Jack security footage from the station. Hunter's collar looked thicker. A forensic tech cut it open, revealing a waterproof capsule with a micro SD card. "Jackpot," Reynolds whispered. Sarah's voice filled the room. "This is Sarah Mitchell. If you're hearing this, I've likely been killed. Thomas Blackwood is trafficking children through his charities. I'm storing evidence where only my dog can find it." Jack's breath caught. Sarah had trained Hunter to be more than a protector. A courier, a soldier. At dawn, Emma pointed to the pond behind their house. "Mom hid things there," she said. "She called it treasure." Jack knelt by Hunter. "Find the treasure, boy." Despite his injuries, Hunter swam into the murky water, diving repeatedly to retrieve 5 waterproof cases. Inside were photographs, financial records, and a voice recorder. Sarah's evidence, linking Blackwood to offshore companies and child trafficking. A letter in the final case, addressed to Jack, broke him. "Jack, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I did everything to protect you and Emma. Trust Hunter. He's family. Keep Emma safe. Bury them with the truth. I love you, Sarah." The next day, Reynolds brought news. Blackwood wanted to trade Emma's safety for the evidence. "It's a trap," Jack said. "Absolutely," Reynolds replied. "But we'll be there." The meeting was set in an abandoned barn. Jack wore a wire, tactical team stage miles away. Blackwood stood waiting, smug in his tailored suit. "You look tired, Jack." "You're running out of road," Jack replied, holding a briefcase of dummy files. A gun clicked, but red laser dots lit the rafters. "Drop your weapon," Reynolds shouted. Blackwood froze, then laughed bitterly. "Took you long enough." 2 weeks later, the trial began. Blackwood pleaded not guilty, but Sarah's evidence and Andrew's confession sealed his fate. He'd never see daylight again. Jack, Emma, and Hunter visited Sarah's grave, leaving her letter and a photo of Hunter. "He kept his promise," Jack whispered. Emma added lilies. "I miss you, Mommy." Hunter says hi, but the story wasn't over. At 3:07 a.m., a week after the arrest, the farmhouse's kitchen window shattered. Hunter's head shot up, growling. Jack scooped Emma behind the couch. Footsteps creaked on the porch. The front door swung open and Thomas Blackwood stood in the moonlight, gun in hand, Dr. Andrews trembling beside him. "You got something that belongs to me," Blackwood said. "Sarah's backups." Jack stood between them and Emma. "You're not taking her." Blackwood smirked. "I don't want her. I want the evidence." Emma peeked out, and Blackwood's eyes lit up. Hunter moved like lightning, slamming into Blackwood. The gun fired, missing Jack. Hunter collapsed, blood pooling. Jack roared, tackling Blackwood, fists fly until the man stopped moving. Emma sobbed, crawling to Hunter. "Please wake up." His breathing was faint. Sirens wailed, but not fast enough. Reynolds sprinted in, ordering a medevac. Emma stood defiant. "He's not dying. He's playing dead like Mom trained him." She was right. An hour later, a helicopter rushed Hunter to Richmond Veterinary Trauma Center. The surgeon warned, "He's critical, multiple reopened wounds, lung damage." But Hunter made it through surgery. In the recovery kennel, Emma whispered, "We're safe now." Hunter whined softly, opening his eyes just for her. Across town, Andrew's confession and Sarah's evidence led to nationwide raids, rescuing countless children. Sarah became a national hero, but to Jack and Emma, she was Mom, the woman who planned for everything. Months later, Jack found a wooden box under Hunter's bed, carved with Sarah's handwriting. For Jack. Inside, another letter and recorder. Sarah's voice filled the room. "Jack, you loved hard. You just didn't know how to show it." Trust Hunter. He'll guide you back. Love, Emma. Don't make me a ghost. Make me real. Jack read the letter to Emma, tears falling. Hunter sighed contentedly at their feet. 1 year later, Hunter's retirement ceremony filled the Oak Ridge firehouse. Jack spoke. Hunter didn't just save Emma. He saved me. The crowd applauded as Jack clipped a new tag to Hunter's collar. Always faithful, forever family. Back home, Emma wrote her story for other kids. I was taken, but never lost, because Hunter never stopped looking, and Mom left a map